meant to be a safe haven. It's meant to be the only place they run in and they feel safe. It is meant to protect the rights and privileges of all Nigerians. Our Nigerian legal system is meant to be the bedrock of economic development. However, there are lots and lots of challenges facing our legal system. Hello and welcome to 7 Legal Show on 7 TV, and I am Olachi Anikwa. 7 Legal Show is a show that brings to you all the trends in our legal system, the show that brings the courtroom to you. Here we analyze issues and give real-life legal interpretations to issues happening all over the world. With me to discuss in today's show is Adora, Barrister Adora. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Our topic for today's conversation is Nigeria and the law. So tell me, what does the law represent for Nigerians?
So law, like you said, is the last hope for every Nigerian man.
Okay.
So law to a legal man means rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. That's what it means literally to the Nigerian man. And so, like I told you initially, that there are 3 sources of Nigerian law. That is the rules, the status of general application, the received English law, and the doctrines of equity. These are the 3 foundations where every other law in Nigeria has postulated from. So these are basically, that's what law means, is rules and regulation, what guides us, what binds us as a people. If you do this and you don't do this, what's the punishment?
Okay.
Basically, that's what law is.
Okay, so you're telling me now that we have one law for every Nigerian. We don't have a different law for the poor, and we don't have a different law for the elites in Nigeria, because I've seen several times that a rich person does something and is overlooked, but when a poor man does it, the issue is quite different. So why is it like this in Nigerian legal system?
Literally speaking, the law is one. The rule of law is the absolute supremacy of law over everybody, where nobody is above the law. That is it. But are there challenges in the legal system? Yes, they are. Are there assertions where it feels as if, like you just said, where it looks as if the elites, the executives are above the law? Yes, it happens. Okay. But the rule of law means everybody is subject to the law. Nobody is above the law per se. So basically that's...
So you know some of the elites are executives, and I realize that the judiciary is one of the arms of government.
Very true.
That is appointed, not elected. Don't you think why there is this discrepancy is because the judiciary is appointed? So if I appoint a judge, I have a say over the decisions of the judge. So don't you think this appointment that is made for the judiciary is not supposed to be so?
Basically, I don't think that assertion is completely true.
Okay, tell
because
me about it.
If you leave the judiciary to be subject to politics and election, then certainly they will have to feed the hand that puts them there. But before you're being appointed as a judge, you have to pay. Make sure you have a certain amount of years in practice. You're intelligent. You can't just be. You have a certain amount of years. You must have been in practice. You must have been studious. So there are rules that makes you to be appointed per se. So I don't think that assertion is completely true.
So you're saying they don't have any hand into the cases or decisions of the cases?
No, I don't. I can't tell you that per se, but yes, the judiciary is fighting its autonomy, because that's one of the things they were fighting last year when they had their Johnson strike. They wanted to be separated from the executive and the legislature, because yes, there's a tendency for influence.
Yes,
there's a tendency for influence. But I'm personally of the opinion that if you now leave the judiciary to be elected, you subject it to elections like the way we then it's going to be a very, very bad game.
Why?
Because people begin to say, I put you there, so you should favor me. I put you here. They begin to determine who will hear their cases and what the outcome of their cases should look like. So I think the best way is you should be left for appointment.
Apart from the autonomy, independence you've said now of the judiciary, what other challenges do you think Nigerian legal system is facing to be able to discharge their duties perfectly?
So first of all, I would say yes, delay of justice is there.
Delay of justice.
Yes, and because of there are a lot of cases. There are a lot of cases that are coming into the courts, and there are not enough courts, neither are there any sufficient judges.
I don't think that's enough justification. You said there is a delay of cases.
No, there are delay of justice, yes.
And there's a lot of cases.
Yes.
That means it should make them to do fast and get the cases out so that they get more. It shouldn't be delayed. That's what I think.
No. So the thing is, there are a lot of cases.
Okay.
With few hands.
With few hands.
Yes.
Okay.
So for instance, and now the judiciary cannot postulate laws. They are working with what the legislature themselves have made. You get the legislation say these are the courts provided, so they are just interpreting. So their hands are basically tied. They have, like I was trying to tell you, one of the questions you told me about, it was about how the Supreme Court is overworked and all. It's not their fault. There's only one Supreme Court in Nigeria, and we have several judicial divisions of this Court of Appeal. So we are saying, just I heard there was a statistics, I think around last year, where there were over 11,000 appeals to the Supreme Court. So that's just from Abuja Judicial Division, and we are saying from several judicial. So you can imagine, and many of them sit every day. So yes, there's a lot of cases, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, that I personally advise people not to run to court first. There are several other ways to settle matters. There are alternative dispute resolution. So court necessarily can be the last resort where you try other means. So basically, I think delay of justice is another issue.
Okay.
Then also there's corruption, yes, because even in those who are not the judges themselves, those who are in the Ministry of Justice, those who are maybe the bailiffs, they want you to tip them to do this, they want you to tip them to do those small, if you don't do this, I cannot go and bring out your file, because you know that there are plenty files. You have to tip me to go and bring out your file where it says. So all those things are the small things that affect the legal system. Many of the judges and maybe those may not know this is what's going on, but you might, like I said, you might not necessarily blame a lot of them because of the work is a lot. Many of their cases are much. So you might have to, they will tell you, you will not fast track me, let me go and bring out your file in the order that it is. So that is all those things that one of the challenges that we are facing in this legal system.
Okay, with what you're saying, the cases are quite much, like you said. And a lot of Nigerians are saying that the cases are delayed, like you rightly pointed out. I'm just saying that if the cases are much, there should be a way to fast track these cases, because there are scenarios whereby someone gets his or her cases in court and it takes not months.
It takes years.
Delay is okay when it's months, but when it's running into years for a particular case to be settled, you understand, it makes Nigerians not to trust the legal system. It makes them not to trust lawyers. You understand? So I don't know, is there a way that there could be some people want 5 years, the cases are not sorted. So how do we shorten this period of litigation?
Okay, so for me, on my own opinion, first of all, I think one of the things I personally hope we can adopt as a country, and this being back to the legislation, the judiciary necessarily their hands are tied. The people who have the power to do and make at the legislature. So the problem they are facing the judiciary is as a result of the laws, because they cannot come and do outside the laws. Their work is interpret the law, do the law. So if the legislation now makes laws that says, okay, some cases, minor cases shouldn't come to court, it will cut off some backlog. Then if you now see there are some minor issues that shouldn't carry on, like there are some, we call them preliminary matters. There are some matters that are motion expert, you don't necessarily need the other party to come to court. The court can, in their chambers, check and see the people's pleadings and see how they can assent to them. If it's not something that is worthy, they remove it. All those small things can, and also adoption of this virtual hearing. Now, but everybody wants to come to the physical court. We can adopt virtual hearing where matters are attended to. Instead of you coming to court by 9 o'clock and your matter is not heard till like 1 o'clock. All those things are what causes the delay and all. So like I said, I think we have to, first of all, the legislature has to say, maybe we can expand the courts, make them, what's there? There are thousands of lawyers. Or then get people and can put them in the judiciary system. And second, I think we have a lot of minor preliminary things that I feel as courts and as lawyers we should do away with. Sometimes, yes, we have our own faults as lawyers.
What are those cases you think should be brought to court?
Cases that you know that you've tried, like, how would I put it, that you've heard the other person, and you've heard the other person, and obviously, you know that this, how would I put it now?
There's no way to separate outside the court.
Outside the courts. That is, I think those are the matters that should be brought to court. But minor things like police, landlord issues, I think they should be taken outside.
There's a lot of landlord issues that be taken. That should be brought to court though.
I saw this small, you're owing me my rent, pay me, just stay. Some of them should just go and then all these persons, also contracts. I think people should begin to learn how to put arbitration clauses in their contracts.
Okay.
Because arbitration is a place that is saving a lot of people stress. Yes, arbitration, you don't need to come to court. You bring an arbitrator who will now come to medicate. That's it. People should put arbitration, put all these clauses that say, okay, let us first of all try arbitration, let us first of all try mitigation. And let you know that when we are going to court, we have tried all.
On a lighter note, I had lawyers. Is that true?
That's not true.
So what do you guys do? Because I can see this cup is white. Is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So a lawyer will come and tell you, this is not white. This is not possible. You practically see that this is white. So how do you guys do this? I really want to know before we end the show. It's almost getting to the end.
I must first of all say we are not liars.
Okay, so
We are not liars. We are meant to prove the facts.
Oh.
So if my client tells me these are the facts before me, I have the duty to represent my client to the best of the facts that he has presented before me. So we are not liars.
Okay, going on the trending issues happening in Nigeria recently, there's a case with Burna Boy and Cubana. The club whereby the lady, Burna Boy approached or sent someone to approach a woman that is married. So if I am a married woman and if I'm fine in that scenario, it's not quite certain. But if I'm fine in that scenario, what do you think someone like me who's married should do to be able to, get justice? Because it seems to be a really terrible incident that happened.
So I found that I read the articles and all that came out. So at the end, I think her husband was shot.
Her husband was shot. Yeah. A friend's husband was also shot.
So basically, there are several rules of remedies that she can get, or her and her husbands can get, and the family, I say husband, they can get. One is fundamental rights.
Okay.
They can institute a fundamental right action against
Burna Boy
himself, the police people. That's the Nigerian, because his security guards, we are members of the police force.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you bring all of them, and you individually. Then you also bring the Nigerian police.
So you see them individually?
Yeah, you have to write their names or individually, because they were the ones who carried out the acts. Then you also add in. So that's you can bring a fundamental rights action against them for threat to life. And you can also bring a criminal action because somebody was shot. That's attempted murder. That's a crime on its own itself. So you can also bring a criminal action against them. Let's say claiming attempted murder and grievous bodily harm. You can also bring, if you don't want to now say criminal is long, you can also bring civil action against them. Where vicarious, under the claim of vicarious liability. Vicarious liability means when a principal is sued because of the actions of the agent. Because one of the articles I read held that the shooting started when they got like a signal from him to start periodically shooting. So those agents didn't necessarily carry out that instructions on by themselves. They did it because my oga say I should do it. So you will sue him and sue the agents and sue the principal, and then you can claim damages. That is on the civil aspect. So she has right both criminal, fundamental, and civil.
So to end the show, what got you interested into law? Because it seems as if you're dishing out.
No. Okay. That's also like I say, law has been something that since when I was a child. I saw my godmother then when I was a child. My mom said, "Okay, this is your godmother that they gave during baptism and all," and she was a lawyer. And that's how I picked interest in law. And that's how, even when I told you, like, that's basically what, and I've not had issues of changing my mind since then. So basically, the law has been my first love. Yeah, at least sometimes when I want to feel as if I should change because of the way Nigeria is. Yes, but last, the law is big.
Okay, so you've been practicing.
Yes, I have.
Practiced law for quite a number of years.
A few years, yes.
A few years.
Yes.
So tell me personal challenges. Give me scenarios of personal challenges you've encountered as you're going to court, as you're dealing with people, clients that came to you. What are the personal challenges? Maybe ignorance or something. What are the things you've faced? Scenarios of issues you faced when you were.
So first of all, one of, like you just said, is ignorance. I think one of the toughest people to deal with is clients that are intellects.
Oh, that
yes,
book.
Yes, Jesus. I think that's my major challenge. Clients that
you don't like people knowing book like
it's
you?
Not like knowing book. They think they know.
Okay, they think they know.
Yeah, so you are trying to advise them. This is how it's, and they're no. It's like that. It's like that.
Sections this and this and
then a couple of my kind of stature. I have a very small stature.
Yeah.
Boom, they will spark and I'm like, oh my God. And you're trying to be respectful, trying to be cautious, and trying to, because you have to maintain client relationship. I think that's one of my major challenges. Clients who think they know. Yeah. It's easier when somebody does not know. So you're telling them, okay, this is it. The person is following you small. When the person has read, I know now everything's available online. Fiam, the person has come and fight this for me. When you're trying to fight this thing for, when you're trying to say there are other ways to resolve your issue.
Yeah, well, I've come to the end of today's show. I am so happy to have started and ended the show with that. The very beautiful, intellectual lawyer.
Thank you very
I hope
much.
not to come to law court anytime soon anyways. But this is 7 Legal, the show that brings to you real life interpretations of legal issues, or the show that brings to you legal interpretations to real life issues. I will see you next week. Again, I remain your beautiful host, Olachi Anikola. See you next week.